Welcome to Game Chat, where Connor and I talk about the latest game and tech news. Coming up in our news block, Summer Game Fest 2026, every game announcement, Xbox Game Showcase, UK to ban under 16 social media, including YouTube and Twitch. That and a whole much more. So buckle up and enjoy the ride, folks, because Game Chat starts now. Hey Connor, how's it going over there?
I'm doing okay, Darren. I'm probably just having daydreams trying to think about all the games that have just been being announced in the past couple of weeks. It's just a really, really heavy summer for announcements so far, and I think we're only just looking at the tip of the iceberg. Like this is just everything we heard about in June.
Pretty much, it's been a lot. There's a lot of announcements coming out, folks. Yeah. There's a lot of games coming out.
It doesn't just stop at the Game Fest. There's State of Play. There's the Xbox Game Showcase. There's the Nintendo Direct. And a whole bunch of the smaller directs that also have some pretty notable stuff. Like we got indies, we got biggies, we got everything in between. It's We're probably going to be speaking about those announcements for quite a long time today.
Oh yeah, it's going to be quite a while today. Good thing, because it's really been a slow news week other than that.
Well, I mean, I guess, that is excluding quite a lot, calling that a slow news week.
No, it's just been mostly game releases. So let's, as always, I haven't been doing much for playing other than a few new games and whatnot. Simulators mostly, as you quite guessed. But so yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Just so no specific titles, just simulators.
Simulators, the usual simulators. Actually, there's one that I just started playing called Solar Punk.
Solar Punk.
Yeah, it's kind of like Minecraft meets Outbound.
Is that like another gardening kind of thing?
Yeah.
But is this? I'm guessing like sort of like sci-fi themed.
It's Minecraft, which means part of Minecraft is you build a house and you build a little place for you to, like a little village type of deal, like a gardening and all that. It's kind of like was it Sundew Valley?
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley. Yeah, it's kind of along the lines of that.
Yeah, I mean, we have no shortage of games like that these days. I can tell you that, and probably have Stardew Valley in particular. Thanks for that, because people just didn't realize how much they really want to just farm in their games.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I haven't started it yet, so maybe I'll figure maybe I'll have that kind of itch to scratch at some point. But
yeah.
As for me, I've been I guess I haven't been playing too much new stuff. Like the King of the Dump game that I talked about last time, I haven't booted it back up since, and I kind of really should owe it myself to do that, because I still have an increasingly big backlog to go through. And then there's also recently what I did for a stream thing is that I did a Pokemon randomizer. I did 2 weeks on that, and that was a pretty fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon randomizers they really are just like bread and butter. I mean bread and butter. It's peanut butter and jelly. It's
the same concept.
Well, yeah, I guess bread and butter do go pretty well as well. But yeah, it's all recorded and all up on my channel if anyone wants to view that. But right now I'm just kind of getting back into Archipelago. It's been about a month since I did the last AP game for Star Wars Day.
And yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars announcements too.
Oh yeah, there's a couple Star Wars announcements in these games as well. We'll get to those eventually, but right now we got announce the answers to last week's well, actually it's actually pretty close to last week's this time.
Yeah, last week's question. 2 weeks trivia. Okay, the question last week I had was, which planet in the solar system would be the size of Minecraft's world if it was real? And it would be Neptune.
Yeah, Neptune is like the second, third biggest planet in our solar system.
Yeah, I think it is. I just gotta double check my my thing. But I think it's like the third biggest. But it's pretty good size. It would be if it was in reality. And Connor's question for last week.
Yeah, I was asking about like the Doom soundtrack being added to the National Recording Registry, and the question was, what were the other two video game soundtracks that have been added before that game? And the answer to that question is that and the first two games that were added to that registry was Super Mario Brothers and the overworld theme, specifically, the one that goes dun dun dun. Well, you can finish the rest of your head, and then the other soundtrack added was Minecraft, the Minecraft Alpha album, the
Volume Alpha.
Yeah, Volume Alpha by C 148. I think that's what the artist's name is. But yeah, no real surprise that both of those games are really added, because those are probably like if you ask anyone that knows like video game soundtracks what they're like, what they think the most iconic ones are, those probably score very high up. Easily.
And then, of course, you have few like Metroid. That would have been another one.
Yeah, Tetris. Yeah, there's the list could go on, and I can imagine that they're going to keep adding more video game stuff across the years. But anyhow, we got new questions to ask, and I'll start with mine first, since I've seen Darren hasn't written one down on at least the topics list on what I see, but.
I got it in my rundown.
Yeah, here. You can ask yours first then. Usually you ask it first.
Okay, my question is, what is the best-selling console of all times?
Well, that might be a pretty simple one. And here's mine, which might be at least a little bit more challenging to those who are a little bit younger, which might be a lot of our viewers. I mean, maybe not, but did you know that it's already been 5 years since the last E3's been held? And it was in the middle of pandemic, so that was online. Does anyone know what the 3 E's and E3 stand for? Yes, just three words all start with E. And it's about video games, so that's all the hints I can give you.
Yes.
Other than if you know, and also no looking it up.
Yeah.
That kind of destroys the part of the point of trivia if everyone just uses Wikipedia for everything.
Yeah. No Googling it, please.
Yep.
So, all right, moving on to our news topics. Let's just nail the very first one about the UK government banning on social media.
Yeah, well, I guess we should probably just get the other newsworthy stuff out of the way before we go to all the game announcements.
Yep, that's what we're doing first.
Yeah, so this is not necessarily something that's happening in the U.S., but as it might come over some point.
Yeah, this is what I was. The other reason why I picked it is because at some point it could. Oh, I could come over here.
Yeah, maybe it's a little concerning. Maybe it is. I guess depending on how you see it, this could also be for the better. But this is an article from Video Game Chronicle, and the headline is UK government announces ban on social media for users under 16, including YouTube and possibly Twitch. The government will attempt to pass the regulation, quote, before Christmas, according to Prime Minister Keir Starmer, with the ban then set to come into place by spring of 2027. When it does, all children under 16 will be banned from social media platforms, including Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. While a list of specific banned platforms will be determined by ministers at a later date, as reported by The Guardian, the government has stated it will also be blocking sites with live streaming capabilities, specifically mentioned game sites, and suggesting Twitch may also see a ban. So, What do you think about that?
Okay, well, no. That's not the way to do it, but also I can see the way they're going at it, because they're going after Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat and X, and yeah, there is some stuff on there that you might not want your kids seeing, but because especially political stuff. But YouTube, guys, come on.
Well,
YouTube's like starting to become like Paramount now.
It's still the same issue as all the other platforms. There's there's a mix. The problem with like regulating this sort of stuff is that there's a mix of content that's appropriate for all ages, and then a ton that's not. And and I think really the issue was just that there's there's kind of a lackluster way of like filtering like what is and what isn't. And there's no like I'm thinking of YouTube, like there isn't really a good labeling system for like what's intended to be family friendly and what's for like mature audiences, other than just, you know, age restricted videos, which is kind of a rarity if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and YouTube's already restrict you enough where you don't see the inappropriate stuff.
Supposedly, anyway. I mean, I'm considering the algorithm like catering stuff to you. Then if you're of course not watching much mature stuff, it supposedly shouldn't show you mature stuff. But I guess maybe the ad blocker I have is just kind of making me. I don't know. Like I question if the algorithm is actually doing what it's supposed to, because despite never clicking on those videos, I just get nonstop stuff about like police chases or something that I never ever click on.
Yeah, and somebody who was, you know, who's tempted the faith, as they say, you don't see much. You don't see the nudity or the bad, you know, the really bad stuff.
Yeah, that stuff should be relegated for their own sites that you obviously shouldn't be
but mostly
an access to.
Yeah, well, mostly I think they're trying to cut down is the language and the what we call innuendos, you know, the suggestions, you know, being inappropriate. But I don't know why they should be doing it, especially, you know, that stuff. If they're going to go after these companies like TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, you know, go ahead. I mean, that's 3/4 of what kids nowadays are on anyways.
Yeah, this is maybe just some sort of challenge that might be just too difficult to just regulate. Like
it is.
It may really be just like at some point we have to decide, like, is it right to have people under a certain age on these platforms to begin with?
See, with TikTok, not TikTok, Twitch. We'll get into Twitch. I turned you off. With Twitch, is you have to be under age of 13 to have an account, 13 14 to have an account, something like that,
like teenage at the minimum to have an account.
Yeah
like I know about that.
And so I mean, other than that, you know, I just don't know why they want to ban the stuffs, to tell you the truth. But I can see what they're trying to get at. They're trying to stop. Basically, they're blaming social media for problems that don't need to be blamed. Social media doesn't need to be blamed for.
Yeah, I mean, they can moderate this stuff, but they ultimately can't completely control what everyone's doing on the platform. Like
exactly,
like it's a multi-layered issue. It's not just the fact that this kind of content is being allowed on the platform at all. It's just that there's thousands, if not millions, of things being uploaded every single day. Like no human or even a bot, for that matter, can accurately parse through them all.
Yeah,
so there's a really tough solution with that. And I mean, there's always the potential of like facial ID or whatever identification stuff that they're doing, but that is its own problems.
But and just to do a generalized ban for kids under 16, I mean, things have changed. I mean, kids 16-year-olds or these 16-year-olds today are doing stuff that we were doing when we were 18, 19. Or at least I was doing 18, 19 years old. I mean, it's different, but yeah. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying it's just, you know, to have a generalized ban on like YouTube and maybe even Twitch, where Twitch is the most big brothered gaming streaming service that I've ever met. You know, you can't say nothing on Twitch without getting thrown off of it. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about Twitch, but whatever. There's no. I hear there's just wrong sort of content pretty much anywhere if you really look hard enough. So
yeah, it should be really, if you want to start doing that stuff, is Kick is the way to. They should be. People should not be on Kick on the age of under the age of 16, because Kick is really more,
like the less moderated of the three.
Yeah, Kick is less moderated,
for better or for worse.
Yeah, and that's why I like Kick, because it's less moderated. Because I can do what I want on Kick. With Twitch, they're so moderated, you can't. They're so restrictive that you can't do anything other than just stream. So
I mean, it is a streaming platform.
Well, I'm also talking about with Twitch, you can't have back if say like I like to go if I'm doing my driving simulator or my flying simulator, I like to have music playing in the background.
Yeah, they enforce copyright and stuff on that, but not so much on Kick. I understand.
Yeah. On Kick, I can play music on the background. I can, just sit back and enjoy, listening to music. And Kick won't do nothing to you. That's the reason why I prefer Kick. But, hey, I think we beat that one. And the general is that I'm not happy about it. And I see what they're getting at. But, it's like America, like 2-3 years ago when they tried to ban TikTok, over here in the United States. Look how far that went. We quickly said, nope, sorry, here.
I mean, I don't know if any of it for good or any of it's bad, because I only use so many platforms, but I mean, it's not like I heard much positive about those platforms to begin with. But hey, if anyone's worried about this, just know that this is just applying to the UK so far. And I mean, if I'm being honest, it seems like the UK in general is much more restrictive on stuff youth is allowed to see in general compared to the United States. But let's just assume that, and that's just going to be only a UK thing for the time being.
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah.
Without getting political, let's hope.
How does this have to do with politics?
Yeah, sure.
Well, regardless, let's just. Do we have time to do another Nintendo thing?
Yeah, we have time. We can do Nintendo.
Yeah, we got some stuff to parse through some things. We have an auction for the most expensive copy of the original Super Mario Bros. Yeah, just like the original Mario Brothers. So there's an auction for it that went out. That went over about $3 million.
Yeah, becoming the most expensive game ever sold.
Yeah, and the story that I'm read about is just it was one of like it's a lot of its value really came from the fact that it's an early production copy of the cartridge, which I mean, it's like this. It's like theoretically it's like the same game like either way. So I don't know why this one would be just more valuable because it's an earlier copy. But
well, here's why it's more valuable, because it's a sealed copy of a 1985 Super Mario Bros. has broken the world record for the most expensive video games ever sold at an auction, fetching strangely $3 million.
Staggering
$3 million. This particular copy of Super Mario Brothers caught the attention of collectors for the same reason the most notable high-grade professional art authentic certification, which essentially makes it the finest known example of among its variants, which basically it's probably being the fact that it's a sealed copy and it's from 1985, which is 40 years ago. 40 years ago, and still sealed in its original packaging.
Yeah. But
That'd be worth some money.
Yeah, and look at this little graph like towards at the bottom, like shows like just like the 5 below like solds of like Mario Brothers of like same game but just different late stages of production and such. Like it's at the bottom of this list of $22,800 for sealed copy from a later production. Then just kind of like it's like crazy how it's like it steadily kind of goes up. Like it goes like it's 22 to 35, 36. $36.25,000, then a massive jump to $7,500, and then now here we are at $3 million. Like,
yeah. Well, it just tells you how rare the copies are getting.
Yeah, but I don't know. That feels like that says a lot about like just how far people are just willing to pay for just rare stuff that probably I mean it's the person that paid $3 million probably ever gonna play that game, or even have they even played Mario to begin with? That's what I'm really asking here.
They probably have. They're probably like a honest to God fan of Mario and just wants it to sit there in their collection to collect dust and raise in value up to whatever point they want it. But yeah, $3 million for a cartridge game that came out in over 50 years ago, 51 years ago. Not quite 51, but about 51 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the same mindset that this kind of makes me worry about like Pokemon cards and such. Like how they just want to just collect all these like ultra rare stuff and drive up the price so high when it's just like they're just keeping it in like a storage bin somewhere. Like they're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, is that really healthy for just any sort of industry, having all these like collectors, or some maybe even label them as scalpers, just taking these rare things and then just reselling them later down the line?
Yes, in a way, yes, because then if it goes to a collector, somebody's going to keep it. It's not going to be lost forever. But at the same time, it's kind of good for the industry because, like I said, I don't know really.
Well, I don't imagine like having like arbitrarily expensive copies of things that sold nowhere near the price that one is being purchased. Like I think
the original
the Mario 1, for the record, is probably only like, I don't know, like probably nothing higher than like 60, like way back then.
Lower
than that. Like it's nowhere near.
They were probably like good. They were how much were they really? About $30.
Yeah, $30, and the money
because your Nintendo itself cost a whopping $75, I think it was.
Yeah. The games and stuff were a lot smaller back then, so that's why they're a lot cheaper. And it's all this stuff like about like limited things and collections that kind of make the NES and its original games just like a whole lot harder to obtain as like just a casual player, because like everything is like several, like not even just inflation, but like everything is just a lot more expensive than it was back then, because people have realized the value of those things, and they're they're not going to give up their copy of Mario 3 that easily. No, like who would do that?
Yeah, I was only off by $10. It was actually $89.99. $89 or
$89.99 for a console. Oof.
Yep.
We dream for prices these good these days.
And that was the basic model that just came with the control deck and two controllers, no game. But if you wanted the standard edition, which my mother got, was $100, came with 2 controllers and a copy of Super Mario Brothers, the action set. Our second Nintendo, the most popular bundle with the control deck, two controllers, NES Zapper, and the Mario Duck Hunt combo, that was $150. So, and if you wanted the robot, you had to pay $180 if you wanted the Robbie the robot.
We used to be able to do stuff with money. this is so...
But today's information, whatever, today's prices, the basic would have probably been, today would be about, price of an Xbox and then on up through. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, where are you sourcing that from? Just from Google?
Just from Google, just from Google GT.
Yeah, just check your settings. Just check your sources, of course.
AI over review.
Well, I don't trust AI over review. I just check regular sources, but I guess it's sourced from something.
And Wikipedia probably said the same thing. Well, anyways,
we're kind of going through time pretty quickly, so we probably have to get like two more like mainline news stuff before we address the elephant in the room. So
let's do the other two Nintendo.
Yeah, the two stuff like their
Pokemon Go is to be used for U.S. military.
Wait, that's navigation model trained on Pokemon Go data reportedly used by U.S. intelligence contractor. That's what the title actually said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is brought to us from a source that I've really been loving lately. The thisweekinvideogames.com independent investigators and so apparently I'll just read what it says from here in brief. A navigational model developed by Niantic Spatial, reportedly using data for Pokemon Go, is now being used by a spatial intelligence company with a U.S. intelligence contract. March of 2026, it was confirmed that Niantic Spatial used scans taken from Pokemon Go to develop a visual positioning model to support navigation in GPS-poor areas. And earlier in December 2025, it announced its partnership with American spatial intelligence company Vantor, which recently received a U.S. government contract to support critical national security missions. Per a new report from the Dutch outlet Trouw, Vantor would not say whether the navigation model has been trained with Pokemon data, but denied the game's data would be used directly. Did not say whether the model has been trained or not. Yeah, that's an interesting revelation for such a what used to be such a massive title that at some point the data started being used for navigational services.
Niantic Spatial reports that use of 30 billion scans taken upon Pokemon Go players developed its visual positioning system.
Yeah, that's what the brief covered.
Yeah, well, also what it means. Also, I'm just wondering, get more into it. Is are they going to take the augmented reality?
The augmented reality, yeah, like the camera, the camera, Pokemon Go. You have the camera mode where you turn it on and you can see the Pokemon in the IRL through your phone scanner. Yeah. I'm
wondering if they're going to,
if they're using those scans for data collection.
Yeah, shows you on the map where troops are or somebody is on the map.
Well, yeah, that would be a helpful thing for some people.
Like I say, we're one step away from the holodeck. We're getting closer and closer to the holodeck.
I would strip that. Yeah, okay, well, taking on a little thing at the end here. Niantic Spatial does not request player permission to obtain footage, and Pokemon Go players can earn rewards by completing a scan of their surroundings. So yeah, there's already a scan thing in game, but that's been a thing pretty much since launch, I believe. It is also stated in the Niantic's term and conditions that images taken by players will be used for mapping data. Oh, of course I missed something about terms and conditions, because who reads that?
Oh yeah.
Van de Hoven, some other person that we're interviewing with, that I kind of skimmed. We skimmed this article way too much, but we're stripped for time here. The person stated, the people who thought they were playing a game have clearly been fooled, and that some people within the company may have known all along what the future applications could be. Sounds like a conspiracy.
Yeah, sure. When it comes to U.S. intelligence, that's not. Never mind.
Yeah, we got stuff going on here.
That's an oxymoron. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, we scam through it. Nintendo may only win $30,000 in payout in a Pokemon legal battle with Pay World.
Yeah, Power World. The Power World legal battle is kind of turning out to be a bit of a stalemate. As like, I think if remembering what the article said, it was like they are like their initial like accusations or what have you. It was like is only accounting for like when they originally made it for like a specific version of the game that's been long been outdated. They updated the game many times since then and changed things. So I guess right now it's just Nintendo just doesn't have really much, if any, ground to work on with suing Pocket Pair for their Power World game. So inevitably, in the end, if this $30,000 payout is what it sticks with at the end, then it basically doesn't matter what happens because it's basically a nothing burger for either party. Like $30,000 for companies.
That's jump change.
It's nothing.
That's really okay. Here's a check.
Yeah, this is kind of a very anticlimactic ending for this whole thing that's been starting for like years.
I have to cut the check for how much? Pink. Here.
Yay.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, and other stuff and other news with Nintendo and financial stuff. They have a new way to fight scalpers, according to this article on Game Rant. Nintendo's implemented a playtime-based purchase requirement for one version of the Switch 2 in Japan. The novel policy, which is not entirely without precedent, signals that the Japanese gaming giant is still occasionally struggling to keep up with the Switch 2 demand without dealing with opportunists directly. So you need to have a certain amount of playtime for a Switch 2? What's like the requirement for that?
Since 2000, it's a 2025 launch. Nintendo has the latest console to be sold domestically in two variants. One is international model, units sold elsewhere in the world, which can access eShop, is related for playing a physical game or cartridge. E-game cards, there's more. The other is much cheaper than variant and that uses the same model.
I think this is just recapping stuff about Switch 2 that's not entirely relevant, but
yeah.
So
it's just they bet they're fighting scalpers, even back fighting scalpers again. I never thought that Nintendo had problems with scalping their products in the first place.
I mean, I guess you haven't been paying much attention then, because there absolutely has been scalpers for their consoles. Just look at eBay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it says here, when the newly announced policy mirrors one of the criteria Nintendo used for Switch 2 pre-orders in the US and some other countries. And so they're imposing a 50-hour gameplay threshold with the Switch 1 before you can pre-order or order a Switch 2.
What, 24-hour?
50 hours, I think that's what it's trying to say.
50-hour. That's pretty good.
Actually,
that's...
Oh, yeah, I've missed this part right here.
2.5 days.
Yeah, prospective Switch 2 buyers in Japan can now only place an order if they have at least 50 hours of playtime logged on the original Switch. Yeah, and this specifically is like a Japan-only thing for the international model. Like, if you're not aware, in Japan, there's multiple options for buying a Switch 2 because, we already know like the console prices these days are getting a little bit ludicrous. So, what Nintendo has done for the Switch 2 in Japan is that they have a Japan-only version of the Switch that has just the Japanese language and like comes at a cheaper cost. And if you want to have a multilingual Switch, then you have to pay the price of like the Switch elsewhere and in yen. And which I suppose the multilingual Switch is becoming a bit of a target for scalpers because of that extra value. So they've now imposed this extra measure in place to ensure that people that people are actually getting this Switch, which that's good. It is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Although I do kind of wish there's more scalper measures in other places of the world, since we could always use some.
Yeah. All right, let's hit it.
All right.
Let's get this big block of biggest announcements of video games coming out. Summer.
Yeah, we got games galore to talk about right now.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna like speed through all the announcements because we got Summer Game Fest, we got State of Play, we got Xbox, we got Nintendo. Like we'll just probably just like read through like title after title.
Summer Game Fest is over and for another year. Jeffrey annual summer case was packed with game reveals, new trailers, fresh updates on upcoming titles. The 2-hour live stream featured number of heavy hits, perhaps two of the biggest: Resident Evil Veronica and Final Fantasy Revelations, which opened and closed with SGGF, respectively. Elsewhere, Tifa addition to Street Fighter, Stella, Blade, and Guild War caught the eyes of did a brand new Teenage Mutilated Ninja Turtles Lost Ronnie game for Platinum, and no, there was no surprise GTA trailer. Well, of course there wasn't. GTA 6 trailer. What? No GTA 6 trailer? What does that mean? It's not coming out now? Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, I was just about to actually just read off title after title, and we don't need a summary of that summary of Game Fest, but yeah, from this list of announcements from beginning of show to end of show, we have as we said, we started with the remake of Code Veronica, Resident Evil, and I don't know much about Resident Evil, but I think I remember watching like a bit of like a history development video of like the franchise, and if I remember correctly, like Code Veronica is, I think like for like the overall plot for the series is, I guess, more important than what the actual Resident Evil 3 was. Like I think like just based on just plot content, like Resident Evil 3 was more of a spinoff than Code Veronica, but I guess due to circumstances at the time, the statuses ended up being swapped around. So.
Resident Evil 3, that was when we switched characters. Yeah, it's when we switched characters, started switching characters.
Like during gameplay, yeah.
Yeah, got more away from the main characters.
It had the Nemesis. The Nemesis was there.
So we got, of course, Final Fantasy.
And then going purely sequentially,
we got Street Fighter 6.
Wait, you're skipping stuff. Hold on.
What? I'm on IGN.
You're the IGN's definitely not listing all the actual announcements, because what came afterward is the announcement of a new Cuphead game in development. With the video of like the puppet Cuphead, speaking about the announcement, and we don't know much about like this new sequel other than it's going to be hand drawn just like the original game, because it'd be blasphemous otherwise. But more importantly, they have an actual game that they're coming out much sooner called a Mighty Cuphead Adventure, which is a retro, like more of a 8-bit game, like inspired by like the Master System, I think, like Sega's 8-bit machines instead of the usual Nintendo stuff, which I'd be interested in looking at. Like I have not touched the original Cuphead, but I think I gotta start changing that at some point. And then keep going down. We got Alien Isolation 2. We got Gen Atlas, which is from the creator of Shadow of Colossus and The Last Guardian. Originally revealed during the Games Awards back in 2024. It's still being in
Mr.
development.
Records, 33 Immortal.
Yeah,
I want to play that. I've seen previews of that.
we have Blood Message, Stranger Than Heaven, Haex. It's just Haex. I don't know how that's
Bub,
pronounced.
Lazy River. That looks pretty fun.
That game doesn't look like much of anything to me. I feel like I've seen that type of style and that type of game a million times now. So
Pretty much.
it's just fuzz to me.
Shoot One Fighters.
Yeah, Mortal Shell 2. Here's one game that actually caught my attention. Sand Raiders with Sophie. Just the premise of like, it's a game where you basically construct your own. It's a game where you construct a basically a giant moving fortress, and it does have cooperative elements. But being able to build your own mech like that looks really cool, and it renders really well too.
Yeah, another version of Mario Kart. Go Super Ukulele Kart.
Super Ukulele Kart. Yeah, that's another one I'm kind of interested in. But
Into the Fire. The pictures look cool.
yeah, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, just a remake of that. And yeah, on that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, Last Ronin is apparently it's inspired like the original direction of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was, where it was a whole lot more edgier than what we usually know it now.
Yeah,
like
they look so
hardcore. There's a Fortnite announcement in there because of course.
Rambo's coming to Fortnite.
Who hasn't? There's a Gundam game. There's an extremely hard game. That's what it's called. It has egg as the pun. The logo's shaped like an egg even. It's probably another hit rage game coming soon. Crossfire world premiere. The more footage on the Control sequel, Control Resident.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, Guildwing. Yeah, that's another game I've not played the original. Yeah.
What, Control?
Yeah, I have not played Control.
Have you played Alan Wake?
I have also not played Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like you said, that list, it just keeps on going. Like I try to roll it up, and like the paper I never see the end of it. Yeah, and Guild Wars 3. We got
Control. It's a good series.
Yeah, we Star Wars Galactic Racer. I think both the Star Wars games and the shows, like we already seen, like Galactic Racer and then that tactics game.
Yeah,
like that's like XCOM Star Wars.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Biz Last Harbor, Virtua and Fighter Crossroads. That's we haven't had a Virtua Fighter game in over 20 years.
Yeah,
I have not thought about that series much at all. Not that I think about fighting games in the slightest, because I am outside of Smash. I have no idea what I'm doing. I can't do button combos.
Yeah,
and there's also
the last one I played was Injustice.
Injustice. That's the DC one.
Yep.
Yeah. They basically made Mortal Kombat and made a DC, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is probably an announcement I think my brother would appreciate a bit. RuneScape Dragon Wilds. Like I know that my brother played this game once. It's a RuneScape as a survival crafting game. It was made into early access last year, but like I don't know when exactly it's going to release. It says here, coming to PS5 and Xbox on the 15th of September. And it'll be available on PlayStation Plus, Extra, and Premium from launch. Cool. Adventures of Elliot, Orbitals. This is the anime-looking game that we've also seen in the Nintendo Switch Direct, but it's also showing up here. Starseeker, Soulframe Preludes, Grounded 2, DLC, Mafia. Like an upcoming story expansion for Mafia Old Country. Is that like the Mafia that I'm thinking of? Like that Mafia?
It's kind of like a GTA style, like a GTA game with set in the 1940s, 30s and 40s.
Yeah, old timey.
Yeah.
Yep. Then we have the 1666 Amsterdam. That's
New York City.
yeah. And then we have a new Saw game, a Saw Genesis, which
Yeah, supposed to be 1,000 or 100 years before Jig.
yeah,
Century before Jig.
yes, three versus one horror game.
Ooh,
Oh, spooky.
that'd be fun. It's kind of along the line of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th and all of them. That'll be fun.
In Dead by Daylight.
And Dead by Daylight, yeah.
Yeah, I guess there is really a lot of announcements. I can't really possibly go through them all, but
There's Clutch.
there's other notable stuff include Among Us getting a story game and also animated series, some
Yep.
DLC for 007, a new Turok game.
Which that DLC, that's awful quick to get a DLC. That game was literally released 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like 2 weeks. Yeah,
And they're already doing DLCs
yeah.
for it.
And there's Attack on Titan 3, the game, which covers the whole like story across the series instead of like the other two, which only cover a certain part, a certain amount of it. But yeah, that's the Clutch. You mentioned Clutch before.
Yeah, Clutch, that's a Horizon style.
Probably another open world game. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of Power World, and the full release 1.0 is coming out on the 10th of July, very soon. So Battle World is about to see the full release.
Minecraft Dungeon.
And Minecraft Dungeons 2, that's coming because
Yeah.
I guess a lot more people than I thought enjoyed the first Minecraft Dungeons.
And then over here, Gears of War, E-Day. I'm doing with Xbox. So I'm adding in a little bit of Xbox too.
Yep.
Fabe. Gears of War E-Day Emergence begins on October 6th is the one I'm waiting for too, along with Star Wars, because I love games of Gears of War. And I'll play Resident Evil Veronica. Or at least I'll wait till my friends play it and tell me how it is. Spyro's coming out.
Oh yeah, new Spyro game finally.
Finally, State of Decay over on, these are all Xboxes. Castlevania. Belmont Curse arrives. Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, I hear that game has a controversy involving AI, like not new territory here, but like of course
No.
that. Yeah. There's controversy about it, like AI use in assets.
Yeah.
Like
Oh shit, we were going to talk about Xbox shutting down one of the studios too.
yeah.
We can
We can sneak that in at the end.
or we can table it for next.
Yeah, we gotta really focus on these game releases because these are taking up the spotlight right now.
Yeah. Persona 6 is announced.
Yeah, and also a remake of Persona 4.
Persona 4. Renaissance, A Plague Tale Legacy shows a new gameplay. What, another Plague's Tale? Oh, I would love. Yeah, another Plague's Tale. I would love to play that one.
That one's like old school anime style game.
Yeah. Vavarim. Where the Wind Meets. I've already looked at it. That's a kind of like another Final Fantasy style. Wolong. Yeah. So yeah, and of course we can't have another Microsoft without another Age of Empires.
Yes, that's their trademark. I know nothing about some of these games. It's kind of embarrassing. Elder Scrolls announcements.
Yep. Fallout 76.
Yeah, the game's still getting updates surprisingly.
And then, of course, Microsoft 24 is adding national parks and another air race.
Into it's a flight simulator.
Yep. And then Sea of Thieves is getting another season. That's pretty much it for Xbox.
Yeah, and I have like a bunch of indie directs around on here too, which well, we don't really have time to cover all of this, but like there was even more games than that we covered. Like there's like so much stuff. Like if you need catching up of like what other game fests that are going on besides the big ones, there's also Day of the Devs. There was Southeast Asian Games Showcase, the Wholesome Direct, and Story Rich Game Showcase 2026 for you to view. I'll maybe put up a comment linking them later if I remember. But yeah, I think the only thing we've really have looked over for announcements is just that Nintendo Direct. And I gotta say, I watched the live stream like when it went on for that stream, and for me personally, I was kind of very disappointed by this showcase, since there's a whole lot of the titles they showed here were stuff we already seen before. Like not a lot of absolutely brand new games. I think the only brand new game that Nintendo had shown themselves was this like Switch Sports Resort,
which is a Wii resort.
You know, it's Wii Sports Resort now on the Switch, and you're not playing as Mii's. You're playing those weird, mean official knockoffs of Mii's, which I don't know why they're still sticking with. Like, why are they trying to abandon my beloved Mii's? Like, what has this become of this company? But yeah, it's a Switch 2 exclusive. Like no Switch 1.
Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah, no port on the Switch 1, which is probably a good thing because otherwise the Switch 2 version would probably be called something like Nintendo Switch Sports Resort Switch 2 Edition. And yes, if you watch this direct, you know that you have to legally say Switch 2 Edition every single time you say the name title. It doesn't get tiring at all. No, not at all.
Lie of Pi.
Why is it P? Like, also announced like some
Devil
challenge.
May Cry.
Yeah, not necessarily a game in itself, but they also have this thing called a challenge. Like they have a thing called a DK challenge, which is kind of like almost like they're introducing achievements. Like introducing achievements to the Switch, which is, you know, it's the only console that doesn't really have an inbuilt-in achievement system yet. So yeah, so you take on challenges to earn cards that I guess you can show off. I mean, the social aspect of the Switch, I gotta say, is not really as strong as like the Wii U or the 3DS, especially the 3DS.
Yeah. Well, they were trying to put in game chat into a system that was never had game chat before.
Yeah, not this game chat. They had like built-in they have built-in game, like there's a dedicated button on the Switch 2 controller that brings up the game chat, and like it's almost like a meme because it's like you have to pay a subscription just to even have the button do anything. Like, why? It's a bold choice. It's a very bold choice in a world where everybody has access to like phone calls, to Discord, millions of other ways of talking to other people.
Yep.
Yeah. And
I'm just sneaking over here, guys. SnowRunner. If you ever watch any of my streams and know that game, but I played it a lot. It's finally coming to Nintendo Switch 2 later this week.
Later
today.
Today. Later today, and yes, there's like the sizzle reel where they're just kind of recapping a bunch of stuff. Like they also have the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 was on there, which has Metal Gear Solid 4, which, as we all know, was originally stuck on the PS3 for a long time. So
yes, it was.
It's very good that it's finally getting another way of being played. And other notable stuff before we get to like the real spice of this showcase is that we got a
Kingdom Hearts is coming to Nintendo.
I was going to say this stuff.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we also got an announcement for Deltarune Chapter 5 coming very soon. It seems like it's becoming a trend that Toby Fox likes to announce the Deltarune stuff for Nintendo Directs, because he did the same thing for Chapters 3 and 4 like the last time, I believe. And I don't know what else that there's like too much to be concerned with. The other announcements because I'm sure everyone is really hyping up about the Ocarina of Time remake, which they capped off the direct with. It's just a teaser, but we know for a fact it exists. It's being worked on. It has graphics. They officially hired that guy for graphic design, and we have no idea how this game's gonna look. Like no definitive release date other than it'll be 2026. So
sometime this year.
So probably holiday 2026, like undoubtedly in like November or like just in time for Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is not actually the first time they remade Ocarina of Time. Like they also did that for the 3DS.
Yeah.
So I really wonder, is this gonna be just like the 3DS port, or just like some additions, but mostly just like quality of life as like a reimagining of like the original game, or are they gonna somehow like shoehorn the open world stuff they've been doing for like Breath of the Wild? Like that's the way Zelda's been leaning towards, but I'm not sure if they're gonna make that kind of. I'm not really sure if they're gonna make that kind of drastic change for their remake. But I mean, we're in the big 2026. I don't know if anything should surprise me or if I should be surprised.
No.
Anything goes.
Yeah, anything goes.
Anything goes.
Yeah, I want that collections. I want to get is the Kingdom Hearts collection. I haven't played that series.
Yeah, I mean, there's already a collection, by the way, for that sort of stuff. It's on Steam. This is just basically just. This seems to be just like a rebranding of like a collection that already exists. So like it's just nothing new other than the fact that it's coming to Switch 2, and unlike the version on Switch 1, it's not on the cloud. It's actually on the cartridge, so you're not getting like bizarre input delay or other bugs associated with playing games on the cloud. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned it on here, but apparently that original cloud-based version for Switch 1 is going away. Like they'll like close down the servers and render it unplayable. So you'd have to get the game again. But I'm not sure how many people are really going to be upset about that, because it's probably the worst way to play all the Kingdom Hearts games, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, there's too much lag,
too much input lag, and I don't know. One day, if maybe not until like a million years, we'll actually have playable, like actually like good like stream gameplay. But I think for the time being,
we're getting there.
But right now, it's just work in progress. And
yeah, I mean, that's how I play most of my Xbox games with multiplayer. Is stream or on the cloud, and some games can handle it, and some games are just like, really, this garbage.
Yeah. Also, yeah, we got another teaser for Kingdom Hearts 4 again. It's still in development. It's still a thing. We have no idea. We have not much other idea what they're doing with it, but it's going to exist one day. One day we'll finally have the number 4. Probably around the same day that we finally have a game.
GTA 6.
No, I was also going to say, like, probably also on the same day we're going to get Half-Life 3. So, it's really hard counting up to 5. Like, we got 5 digits per hand, but most companies can't even get halfway.
Yeah.
Also, I just noticed that the Game Chat logo has been idle. Like, you good there, logo? You good there?
It's been 8.
Oh, there we go. It just needed a little boop.
And you waited till the end of the show to deal with that.
Yay! Better late than never, right?
Oh.
And then frozen again.
Yeah, well, the person behind it in the control room hasn't touched it all day. In the whole show. Well, let's do the State of Play announcement. I'll just do it in brief. Sony Interactive Entertainment broadcast a PlayStation State of Play in June that ran over an hour, featuring more than 20 announcements. The showcase opened up with gameplay trailers for Marvel's Wolverine and closed with God of War Luffy. Features debuted Rivals Until Dawn 2, Rayman, Legends of Retold,
Finally, a new Rayman game.
A new Rayman game.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
We waited all this time and they just remade a game. It feels like the last few Rayman releases has been the same game 30 different times. Because of
Including, yeah, also a new Tomb Raider Legacy. No, wait a minute. The remake, Legacy of Atlantis, from 1996. Lost Wild, Phantom Blade Zero, a whole bunch of like Dune Wake, and another Silent Hill.
Dynasty Warriors 3, the Ace Combat 8.
Until Dawn 2.
And there's also Control Resident also showed up here and announcements for Marathon and the God of War game. Yeah, so yeah, we didn't. Kind of just shoved off PlayStation till the end, but PlayStation, other than the state of play, had almost nothing going on over the past couple of weeks.
Now, I went through PlayStation news and what? Really? It's not much for PlayStation. It's more Xbox.
Yeah, it was honestly kind of last minute that I got the state of play on there.
Yeah, it was more.
I just didn't realize until last minute that we didn't even mention it at the last time.
Yeah. Alrighty. I think that's pretty much it, folks.
Yep.
They're pushing us, trying to push us out. The light's flashing here, so we got to get going.
Yeah, I can feel the cane coming around my neck. Like,
All right, talk to you later. Goodbye.